Innovation Unplugged from the Alabama Community College System's Innovation Center takes you inside Alabama's workforce development. Join us for enlightening conversations with community leaders and industry experts showcasing experiences, addressing key issues, and celebrating successes in the workforce initiatives across the state. All right, hey, welcome back, guys, to another episode of Innovation Unplugged. I'm Houston Blackwood, Workforce Director for this insane bunch. And in studio today, a special show. Of course, I think they're all special, but this one is good because it's a student story, it's success, it's life-changing. On my left is Matt Heaton, Career Readiness Manager, and then you all know and love him. But on my right is Mr. Ryan Ailes from Daphne, Alabama.
Daphne.
And he's a student at Coastal Alabama through Skills for Success, and also a Bishop State student long-term. But, man, I tell you what, I saw I think it was Bama Buzz, a news thing out of Birmingham. Saw an article, and somebody sent it to me, like, hey, is this your guy? I'm like, well, I don't know, Ryan, but that's our course. That's our college, and that story needs to be told. I got to find him. And so, thankfully, we have a record system where I can look folks up. And so we did, and I reached out. And, man, I'm just so glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, talking off air, a couple
right.
about a month now. In the lobby earlier, man, like this is what we're after.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like this is why Chancellor Baker had the vision he did, and this is what he wanted. I think if we be cheesy for a minute and be serious, to get away from the fuzzy mic topic, this is exactly what the Chancellor had in his mind when he said we need something rapid. Something that's no cost, it's relevant, it leads to a job.
Yep.
Okay.
This is the why.
This is the why. This is why we get up every day. There it is. Here's the why. Right there in my paper. That's it. So, Ryan, we're so glad you're here. Give us a rundown. Who you are, where you came from, and because your story is powerful and people are going to be moved by this.
Yeah. So my name's Ryan Ailes. I grew up in Daphne, Alabama, which is in South Alabama. I didn't really do great in high school. So after high school, I chose to go straight into the workforce instead of going to college. Tried several different jobs, but ultimately landed in the restaurant industry as a server and bartender for the majority of my adult career.
Yeah. So I worked, when I was in teacher school, I was a server at Red Lobster. And aside from those cheese biscuits, it was a great job.
Yeah.
Well, along with the cheese
That's one of
biscuits.
my first thought, the cheese biscuits.
Yeah, cheese biscuits were amazing. But that was a fun job when I was 19, 20, 21.
Yep.
Because I made decent tips and it was a good time. But I didn't have life coming at me.
No.
And I knew other things were coming. So 20 years in that industry, and we were talking earlier, and you laid it out pretty raw about the need. And so, I mean, we'll just jump straight into it. 20 years into any industry is really good, but what made you need that change, man? Like, tell us what that life was like before you went to Coastal and said, give me some fiber optics.
Yeah. So, making a career change at this stage of my life, I think the thing that really caused me to do it was desperation. Like I said earlier when we were talking, I have a 15-year-old daughter. I was working late hours and odd hours. We always work weekends in the restaurant. So I was missing out on a lot of time with her. I never had a steady paycheck coming in. I didn't have steady health insurance. There was no 401k. I just wasn't really preparing myself for life in the future, and just felt like I really needed to make a change if I was going to have a better life.
Yeah. So we talked about that earlier on a previous episode. A guy named Pastor Brad Sheets, and he talked about folks doing what it takes to become a better father. Not that they're a bad father,
right?
But having the opportunity to be a more involved father.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it started with just seeing that, like, hey, I've got to do better.
Yeah.
Like, I need to do better for the people in my life, and certainly for your 15-year-old daughter. So if we could just be real, like if you're working weekends and nights, like, with any kind of age child, that's tough. And a teen daughter, like,
yeah,
you weren't. I'm gonna say this to you, and we can cut it out later if you want to say no. But like, feels like, man, having a child of the same age, like, I would be scared to death that I was missing out on opportunities to mold her future.
Yeah, I definitely was. I was, and there was nothing I could do about it. You know, that was the position I'd put myself in. Without being able to put, you know, accolades on my resume to be able to apply for better jobs, you know, that's just kind of what was available to me, and that's what I had made available to myself.
Yeah.
You know, so if I wanted to be a bigger part in her life and be able to not miss the important events, you know, then a change had to be made.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. On that note, what fears or doubts did you have, and everything involved here, a midlife career pivot, what fears or doubts did you have when taking the leap to do something different?
I think I was just worried that it might not work out, that I might invest this time into it and end up being stuck in the same place that I was at already, you know, and just have that time wasted and still no change. But I think that eventually it got to a point to where the fear of being stuck became greater than the fear of failure. So decided to take a leap.
Yeah.
That's almost like, you know, Pastor Brad and then John Joseph were talking about the fear, the pressure to stay the same became lesser than or more than the pressure to change, or maybe the pressure to change became greater than the something. It was very profound, and I just completely butchered that. But but I know what you're saying, and like you realize at some point, like it's now or never.
Yeah,
almost. And you use the word desperation, and that makes sense. Having been in a time of my life when the insurance ran out, when I was no longer the insurance provider for my child. That's a big moment. That a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and even, you know, if you yourself got sick, you know, not being able to take care of yourself, and as an adult, it's demoralizing.
Yeah. So you were looking around, and how did you find Skills for Success?
So I had enrolled at Bishop State University Community College, and I was taking some broad classes there, trying to get a degree in computer systems information. And while I was doing that, I was doing those classes during the day, and then I was working at a restaurant called Las Floriditas at night, and we were only open for dinner. So it kind of worked out nice that I was able to do class during the day and then the restaurant at night. But I had a coworker that worked with me at Las Floriditas, a good friend of mine, Davis. He knew Joseph Metz, who's the Skills for Success coordinator down there at Coastal Community College. And he told me about the Skills for Success program, and that it was free, and that it was a short course. And he knew I wanted to go into the IT field, so he thought it might be a good fit for me and told me to check it out.
Yeah, and that was Joseph or Davis?
Davis is the one that told me about it. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't connect with Joseph until I actually signed up for the course.
Okay. So just from market research, what was your relationship and your feedback on Joseph Metz?
Joseph Metz is one of the most wonderful human beings I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree.
He has got the biggest heart.
Yeah, he's a fireball. He'll call me at like 6:30 at night. And I'm like, bro, you know, the workday ended 2 hours ago, but I'm going to answer your phone call because it's important if he's calling.
Yep.
And you know, and he's one of the most authentic humans I've ever met.
And it's not going to be a down moment. It's going to...
No, he's very upbeat.
Yep.
Yeah, it might be the biggest
But
problem.
in a good way.
Yeah.
You may have needed to hear from him more than he needed your answer.
That's often true. It's often true. And so even if it's the biggest problem he's had all day, like we're going to have fun solving it. And so, but I'm not surprised to hear any of that about Joseph. You know, he is a go-getter from the get-go.
He is a person that thrives on watching people change their lives.
Yeah. So one time I played golf with Joseph, and he did a good job of coaching me up, as horrible as I was. And it took me about 4 servings of my beverage to actually get comfortable enough to actually play. But anyway, it was great.
Probably to accept his help also.
To what?
To accept his help.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because
four drinks of your beverage to accept his help.
Yeah, because I was playing with Joe Johnson and Josh Duplantis, and they're like Joe's like semi-pro or something. Like they're both really good, and Joseph's really good, and I stink. So anyway, what is Joseph? Great guy, helped me out. So I have no doubt he was great for you too. So what was that like when you got registered and you got into the course? What was that whole thing was like from start to finish?
I was already taking online courses with Bishop. So watching the first part of the certification was watching videos and then taking quizzes afterwards. That was very much at my own pace. There wasn't a big rush timeline to get that done. But I was able to finish that, and then once we got to the in classroom sessions, my spark for working with fiber really took off. Being able to do things with like the fusion splicing and OTDR, and learning about the different types of fiber and everything that's out there and the distances it's traveled. It just really piqued my interest.
Yeah, it's a crazy concept. Who was your instructor for that? Was it Grant or Josh?
Grant.
Grant
Hudson.
Yeah, Grant was great. Yeah. I couldn't remember his name, but I do know his face, and I know he was a good instructor. He did a really good job.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he lives, but he seems to do a lot of the southern courses. Great guy, though, and he comes highly recommended. That's good stuff. How were those videos for you?
The videos were cool. I really liked that they had people that actually work out in the field that did part of the videos to telling you about the job and everything. It felt very real to me. It didn't feel like I was being taught by a teacher or watching some funny little cartoon or anything telling me about fiber. I was hearing from real people about the real job and what it was like.
Yeah, it's good to hear that. That was a big thing when we started Skill Success. So if we're going to film it and do it, we want somebody from the industry.
Yeah, I want to say it was Alabama Power that y'all had. Yeah,
it was for sure. They were.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah, they were big supporters of it.
So with the different things in that course, what was that program balance like? With as long as you've got internet access, if it's on your phone, you could work on that. You touched on family, still working in the restaurant industry.
And I was at Bishop at the time, so I was balancing classes there too. I think as long as I was able to commit maybe an hour a day to it, I had plenty of time to get it done. I think I even got done early. I want to say there was like 4 to 6 weeks that we had before the classes started. Okay. You had to get the videos done, so it was really an ample amount of time.
Did it take you all that 4 to 6 weeks to complete?
No, I was done just waiting on the classes to start.
6 weeks and only like 12 modules.
Yeah.
So 1 hour a day is.
Yeah, it was nothing.
12 days, nothing.
It was, but it was good. It was informative, and it was very. The videos weren't super long, and then have to take some big tests. It was cut up into short videos and then a short quiz, so that you could retain the information. It was just very achievable.
Yeah, that's good to hear. So, did you do that like on a phone or a laptop?
I did it on a laptop.
Yeah,
for sure. Like I said, the restaurant didn't open until night. I didn't have to be at work till 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'd wake up in the morning, get my schoolwork knocked out, whatever courses I needed to do that day. And then, I'd spend an hour or two, before I went into work on these videos.
I love hearing that. We talked to a lot of students, but it's not common that we get to talk to a working adult. But honestly, we said like, hey, our target audience is going to be like that 38 to 40-year-old who's at whatever situation they're in.
Rashawn was 39.
Yeah, he was. Exactly. So that's two dads in a row. Well, no, 3. Trinity Howard from the Auburn. He was a truck driver I was telling you about.
Yep. Got a CDL.
Yep, got a CDL. So that's 3 fathers.
Yeah.
Who do a little bit better, a little bit different. So when you were taking this course and you realized at some point, like, okay, this might work for me.
Right.
And to tell that story, I guess but yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't know if it was going to work for me. I didn't know. Like I said, I was in college, and I knew I needed to add stuff to my resume. I had applied for jobs in tech prior to getting the certification, and I couldn't get a call back. I think I applied to the company I work for now, Uniti Fiber, 3 or 4 times, and I just never heard anything. But I wasn't sure if this was going to make a difference or not. But I did. I followed through with it. I completed the certification, and then once I added it to my resume, the next time I applied at Unity, I got a call back.
Yeah,
and I was able to get in front of those people and prove who I was and that I was worth hiring.
So quite literally, that certificate on your resume opened doors.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
100%. I just feel like it really gave me an edge on my resume. It made me stand out from other people maybe that were applying.
You were speaking their language a little bit.
Yeah,
like they recognized that you knew what was going on. So
I think that they saw that I had invested in learning my craft prior to them agreeing to pay me for it.
Now, did you ever talk to anybody about, hey, listen, guys, I appreciate you hiring me, but I applied 3 other times. I'm the same great human, but
yeah.
Did you ever ask that question?
I didn't I definitely told them that I had applied multiple times because I was excited to finally get in front of them, but I didn't. I didn't try to train them on their hiring tactics.
Probably not while you're still in the interview. But that's powerful.
I do want to continue to work there.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that too. I still want to continue working here.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But I think that's powerful because we always wonder what is the credential, what does it really do? Does it? And we know the training's valuable. It's good. It's proven to help people. But to hear somebody say, "Yep, I can do."
I do want to say this, that once I got that interview and I finally got in front of them, one of the first things that they asked me about and what they were most interested in was this fiber optic certification course. They wanted to know what it entailed, what I learned, what it was about. But, so nobody flat out came and said, "Hey, we gave you an interview because of this." But I think it's safe to say that it definitely had a helping hand.
It came up in the interview?
Yes.
So you went from applying to the same place prior to getting an interview with the same place after adding this
Certification
to your resume.
Right.
And then got hired by this place.
Yes.
So what was that first role as a technician with this industry?
So I was talking to y'all about this before. The certification, I feel like, actually prepared me more for a job working out in the field as like a field fiber splicer.
Right.
But the job I landed was actually working in the office. I landed a job as a NOC technician, which is NOC, NOC. It stands for Network Operations Center Technician. And from there, we will remotely log into devices, work trouble tickets, figure out what's going on with them, if there's a problem, and determine if we need to send a field technician out to investigate on site.
I love that you kind of skipped the line a little bit. I don't know. I think you seemed like you might have wanted to go out and work in the field some.
I wanted anything that wasn't waiting tables. Is what I wanted.
Fair, yeah,
fair enough.
I'll tell you what, though. I had spent so much. There was a point in my restaurant career that I was really happy doing what I was doing. I was good at waiting on tables. I enjoyed, giving people a great experience.
Yeah.
But it came to a point to where I really wasn't happy doing that anymore. I was burnt out on it. So more than anything, I wanted to be happy going to work again.
Yeah.
So today I am.
Well, I think we just stop right now. If you can make work happy again, that's what we're after.
Well, and going back to that whole process, he's kind of the opposite of what we normally hear. Most people are working during the day, trying to complete stuff at night, but your job was
working at night, doing, improving myself during the day.
So,
yeah. Do you think that fiber course actually prepared you for the first job you had, or it just got you in the door and they said you'll fit right here and do great?
It definitely prepared me for it because I got to learn about the technology and how it worked. I didn't know anything about fiber other than it was fast internet.
Okay.
But I didn't know any of the other specifics of it. So learning how the technology works and operates prepared me for a better understanding once I got to that NOC technician role. Now I got to say, I cannot be more happy that I landed with Uniti Fiber, though. The amount of training that they provided after they hired me for that role was, it was second to none.
Yeah, the OJT. Yeah, and you told me that not long after taking the NOC job, the first job, you got promoted.
Yes. So I spent about three or 4 months doing the NOC technician job, and then a position opened up for a network change control analyst, and I applied for that and landed that as well. So I've been doing that since February.
Okay. Past that, I don't know the fiber world, really past what I've learned through our course. But
right.
What's after that for you?
So I've been studying for the CCNA, which is a Cisco certified certification, and it's kind of a foundational certification to be able to continue to progress in the networking world. I learned how to program equipment and maybe one day become a fiber engineer. But for now, I really just want to learn the position that I'm in to the best of my ability and just be really great at it for now.
Love that. That CCNA course. So there's the hardware network side of things, and I'm talking stuff I do not know. But then there's also the security side. Those are two separate certifications, I think.
Yes.
Do you have any plans to pursue something on the security side too, or just focus on the hardware network?
Anything's possible. I right now it's just one certification at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's a beautiful thing, and that's so we're talking right now in the college systems. You have like entry level, and the people come from K-12 or open enrollment, like yourself, or from industry, or they're incarcerated, either still incarcerated or just out. But we're talking about this pathway from wherever they're coming from onto some ramp. So there's adult ed, there's skills for success, and there's the college, credit, non-credit. Then there's I think thing called ATN, which is really technical training for incumbent workers. So if you can imagine this ecosystem and people can kind of jump in and travel whatever road they need to get to the next thing, whatever their next thing is. And so it's really good to hear you say like, hey, for right now, I jumped in, I got on here, and I got out, and then I'm going to go here for a minute, and then I'll jump back into something else. But having that flexibility as a learner, what's that like for you?
I don't know if I really understand the question.
Well, having the option to come in and get this fiber certification, get a job, work, and then take their training for a while, and then when necessary, you can come back into the college system.
Yeah.
And get something else, and then get out again.
Well, I mean, I think the flexibility is just in having stability right now in between choosing what I want to do next. I do have the steady paycheck now. I can operate on a budget. It's something I have not been able to do in 20 years because I didn't know what kind of money I had coming in at what time. So just the stability of a better quality of life. And then choosing when I get ready to move on to the next thing. I think it means the world to me.
Yeah, love that.
So looking back now, a little over a year at Uniti.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
1 year this past month, September was 1 year.
How has this training impacted not just your career, but personal growth and confidence?
I think it's given me validation that, that I am capable of more than I thought I was. So it's just been proof that if I put in the hard work and I apply myself, that I can grow. And now that I'm able to spend more time with my family and my daughter and have that better quality of life, I think my confidence has gone way up.
Can I dig into that for a minute?
Yes, please.
So we had an episode with Rashawn Walker. He went from being a truck driver at night to being home at night.
Mm-hmm.
In one episode or one moment, he recalled he was at home and he cooked a cheeseburger at 11:30 at night.
It's a good time to eat a cheeseburger.
Well, I thought so too. But he talked about just having that moment, and he's like, I get to feed my son, and I think in the literal, but also the figurative option to feed his son, not just food, but by his presence alone. So maybe not the first night you were home after this job, but what was that like in walking through that change of, okay, I'm at home at night now,
right,
to be with your daughter,
to
be the dad in the room at 7 p.m., 9 p.m.,
homework,
to be there at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. when she's getting up. Like, what was that like for you as a father, as a man?
I mean, it's everything to be able to be there for your kids.
Yeah.
I feel like I showed up a little too late because now she has a boyfriend, and anytime she needs something from me, it's, hey, can you take me to my boyfriend's house? Or, hey, can we go pick up the boyfriend and he can come over and hang out with us? I'm like, all right, but if that's what, if that's what it means being there for my daughter, then by all means, I'm so happy that I'm able to do that now, because before it'd be, I'm sorry, I'm at work.
Yeah.
I'd go into work at 2:00. She's at school till 3. So she gets out. I don't see her, get home at 11 or 12 o'clock at night. She's in bed asleep. And by the time I wake up from being at work the night before, she's already gone off to school again. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I mean, it's everything to be there for your kids, be able to have those, be there for the special moments.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we need to have a conversation with his boyfriend?
1,000%.
Go down there and see him.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Remember the scene off of Bad Boys when the boyfriend comes to visit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Reggie? It was Reggie, wasn't it?
Reggie? Yes.
Yeah, I don't think we can reenact that scene.
No, I don't think we can.
Not on this show. Maybe our other one. But we joke. I'm sure the kid's nice, but Just for the record, but
Matt, go outside.
I'm just imagining like what that's like, and I'm thankful. Like in this moment, like I'm thankful that that you have that opportunity, and that we've heard that story. This is the third time in three recordings that we've heard that from a guy who became a better, more accessible dad.
I hope
Not a
it's
better dad.
I hope it's validation for you guys and for the program that it's working.
Yeah,
You are changing people's lives,
Yeah.
and you're not only changing our lives, you're changing our kids' lives. You know, so for us to be able to show up for our kids because we have a better job opportunity now, I mean, what more can you ask for?
Well, nothing, nothing. So you know, there's I saw a thing some time ago. It said it's not really about your IQ; it's about your EQ, your emotional intelligence, and then that comes from your ability to handle situations. But if you're stable in your ability to provide, then you're a more stable decision maker. And this go anybody, but you're a more stable decision maker. The long range plan is different. You know, you're not surviving anymore; you're living. You know, and you're planning. And so, I just love hearing those things. What would you say to somebody else that was in your situation? They were in a rut. You know, but either career wise or just, you know, maybe walking out of a bad situation. What would you tell them about getting out of that?
I think I would tell them that if you've intended on doing better for yourself for a long time, stop having intention and start taking action. There's no time like the present. You know, you have all the power to give yourself a better life, and there are programs out there like Skills for Success that can help you get there. The only thing that's stopping you is you.
I love that.
Yep.
I think a lot of folks, myself included, make excuses why we don't do stuff. You know.
Well, you're scared.
Yeah.
You know, you turn a molehill into a mountain. You know.
Yeah. I was listening to a guy talk the other day about everybody gets nervous. You know, and people when he's like, "Hey, how you feeling?" Like, "Oh, I'm nervous." It's like, "Oh, that's normal."
Yeah.
Like you're
Me too.
alive. Yeah, me too. Like, yeah, we're about to go in here and do this awful thing, and it's gonna be really hard workout. But I'm nervous too, and so I think if anybody out there is listening, when they put this out there on the internet, it is scary.
It is. It is. But you know, doing things that you're scared to do is an opportunity for you to grow. You know, you're not gonna get anywhere by staying complacent and just being comfortable all the time. Do the things that make you feel uncomfortable.
Kind of like a river. You know, like Garth Brooks' song, "The River." Life is like a river.
Dream is like a river.
Dream is like a river. Can you sing it? He's a big Garth Brooks fan.
Ever changing, is it?
Yeah, but that still water is safe because it doesn't look scary. You know, jumping in that big river, crazy stuff, man. We're getting kind of deep here. What would I can't? I'm rarely out of words. It's just like I'm kind of sinking in the fact that like everything you've said right here is extreme validation for what we've built. And just to be selfish for 1 second is, man, we never know, and we get bagged on a lot because the registration doesn't work right, or the new software is not right, or somebody missed an email on a Thursday and had to wait till Monday. You know, like we get bagged on so much, and I'm happy to take on those things, but like sometimes it's like, well, come on, like, do you know what you're going to get on the other side of this? You know, like, do you know, are we all thinking about what's going to happen for that student on the other side? So like right now, I'm just kind of lost in the fact that like 3 stories, 3 guys, 3 lives improved, their families made better, and I'm struggling to walk out of that right now, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, I think whenever you try to do something to help other people, you know, the saying kind of goes, if you help just one person, then it was worth it.
Yeah.
You know, you have proof that you've helped 3. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
And I'm sure there's many more.
Yeah, there are. It's just fun to hear it. It's fun to look at a real human. It's like, hey, yeah, like, thanks.
No, I think you guys should give yourselves a big pat on the back, you know, and I give myself a big pat on the back for completing it and come as far as I have. You know, I think sky's the limit at this point.
Well, and just to be real transparent, like you were hesitant to come on the show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When I first reached out, you were like, I don't know. I'm like, come on, man. Like, it's going to be fun. Like,
I was hesitant to come on the show an hour ago.
yeah. Okay, man. That's normal.
I'm still kind of hesitant to be here.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a great job.
But it is proof that I talk about it all the time. If you do the right things for the right reasons, the end goal will take care of itself. And
yeah.
Have a little faith.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're in October, and so we just started our fiscal year. So our colleges are really ramping up and running wild with K-12, business and industry, open enrollment, and so I'm looking for more stories to come out of this. So obviously we're going to put you on this podcast, and you've had some publications, from that
Sure.
Bama Buzz article. What does it mean to you to know that your story is out there influencing people, telling a really good story, but also giving some folks the courage to say, okay, well, gosh, that guy did. Well, man, I bet I can. Like, he took advantage of it. How do I do that?
To be honest, it really blows my mind that I'm inspiring other people. So my mom went to college later in life. And she became a nurse practitioner. Mm-hmm. She did 8 years of college later in life, and completed it and became a nurse practitioner. My girlfriend, she was getting her master's in social work whenever I met her, working 2 jobs, and she has 3 kids. Mm-hmm. So watching them do the hard things and succeed at them, they inspired me to do it. Like, hey, if they can do all that, then I can at least do this.
Yeah.
So to the thought that I'm inspiring people the way that they inspired me, it just blows my mind.
Mm-hmm. Taking what you experienced, what you saw as life, and being able to do the same thing.
Yes.
On a statewide. I mean, I'd say probably at some point that article goes national. So somebody will pick it up,
Mm-hmm.
And somebody somewhere is like, okay.
So my next stop is Good Morning America.
Probably, yeah.
After they see this podcast, they'll reach out.
I tag a lot of times. I'll tag Mike Rowe, like the Mike Rowe Foundation. I tag him on it, and he's never answered. Actually, I got put in LinkedIn jail the other day because I tagged some state senators.
He's got a really good foundation that Mike Rowe does.
Yeah,
he does.
They won't answer us, man. Like,
yeah.
Well,
they're probably busy.
I don't care. Like, so are we. Like, we're telling your story. Like, they should be listening to us.
Maybe they are. They are.
Maybe. I went to see him in New Hampshire last November. I was pretty close to him, but you had to pay a lot of money to go stand by him.
Yeah.
Didn't do that, but it was really good. He told the story of how Dirty Jobs came to be. Mm-hmm. It was hilarious. Like, it wasn't even intentional. He actually lost a job doing the very first Dirty Jobs episode. He did it, and they fired him, and then he started all of it.
Just went to the next one.
Went on to being famous. So anyway, that's a really cool story. Matt, so Matt works with the K-12, and there's a lot of those kids out there in Alabama, a whole bunch of kids. But this story is happening all around the state. What's that like for you, knowing that you came on board, helped propagate that K-12 initiative, and there are kids out there who are gonna, and I say this with all of the respect in the world, who aren't gonna have to wait 20 years to figure out something they want.
Yeah, I don't want that for anybody.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to have to wait 20 years to figure it out.
Well, we even had this conversation with Chris Strickland the other day. Like, the goal is to catch them at that age to figure out what you like, figure out what you don't like. But some of these fields, it could be entry level, do it for the rest of your life, rather than, in some cases, it being a fallback career in your late 20s or whatever. But it doesn't have to be that. It can be long-term sustaining for yourself and your family for years to come while you're climbing that corporate ladder in that industry. So,
yep. We had a young man, we did a paver pilot, like a paving machine, and the screed, which is the thing behind it, actually makes the road. And a young man, and he was from Maplesville. Do you know where Maplesville is?
I do not.
Okay. Do you know where Maplesville is?
I do not.
Is it in Alabama?
It's in Alabama. It's a beautiful place. I saw the most beautiful sunrise there one time. But if you didn't know where it was, you're not going to know where it is.
Is it one of those, like, we have one street sign?
No, they have more than that. They got a couple stoplights, but it's it's just an old rural place in Alabama, like on the way from one place to another. But that's where he was from. But he was over there taking that paver course, and long story short, he did the best out of the whole class, like making it straight and smooth. So we was just talking to him, but he got more excited about that progression in that 2-day lab than he ever had. He was a flagger, He got straight out of high school, works some other jobs as a flagger. But then now he's on to something. And so what can happen with him, though, is he doesn't even have to get other certifications. He can just be good at that for a while and then eventually become the paver operator, paver foreman, and work his way up. And so his progression is clear, and climbing, not just a linear, I'm going to work here for 30 years.
Right.
And go home. And that's the difference. It's like even with just the one course, he could set himself on a different trajectory.
Absolutely.
Not have the same job forever, make more money all the time. But
Yep.
His name was Riley. Riley from Maplesville, great kid. We're getting close to the end of the time. We try to keep these things under 45 minutes. It's tough, though, because we start telling stories and jokes and having a good time. But in 5 years, Ryan, what are you going to toast to on a Friday afternoon?
Honestly, in 5 years, I hope I'm doing the next thing that scares me.
Oh, my gosh. Never heard that.
Wow.
I want to continue to grow. I want to continue learning. I want to continue getting promotions, and I think that's just going to mean doing a lot of things that scare me, things that I'm scared of failing. And hopefully in 5 years, I'm still doing something that scares me.
Okay. Love that.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a good way. Hopefully not on a bull named Fu Manchu. Okay.
No skydiving for this guy.
Love it.
Rocky
Yeah,
Mountain.
that's good stuff. We've never had that answer. I think we should all aspire to that.
Mm-hmm.
Something a little bit scary, a little bit risky. The risk and reward. Cool, man. Thank you for being here.
Thank you again for having me. This went a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah. Well, we try not to make it weird or difficult. Well, we try not to make it difficult.
It was always
gets
more
weird.
me than
It
it was
gets
you
weird.
guys.
Yeah.
Happy I didn't pass out under the pressure.
No, you didn't.
Don't lock your knees under the table.
Well, I'm very appreciative, Ryan Ailes, of you being here, and for Uniti Fiber for letting you take the day and come up and tell the story. I'm sure we can have a follow-up in some time. Next thing on, who knows, you may end up being a subject matter expert task force member for one of our courses one day. So
That would be amazing.
yeah. Closing thoughts, Matt, Ryan?
Love hearing the stories. Love capturing them for everybody else to see.
Yeah. Keep growing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Matt, wrap this thing up like a cheesy burger.
Cheeseburger. This is going to conclude another episode of Innovation Unplugged. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow on all your social media platforms. Have a great day.